So welcome back to my channel. This is Gamer Dom, and sorry for no rambles last week. I forgot to tell everyone because I'm stupid, but I was actually in the US for business all of last week, so in good old Las Vegas, so I didn't manage to get one done. So bumper edition this week of rambles, because there's been lots and lots and lots of news since I've been gone, which is kind of cool, really. So biggest thing is obviously around 9.20, the rebalancing of many tanks, the introduction potentially of the Chinese, well, not potentially, the definite introduction of the Chinese tank destroyer line, a new premium VK tank, a bit like the VK 100-01P, the birthday gift from Wargaming. What else we cover? The new map mode. All sorts of good stuff coming through. So let's get started with a quick look at 9.20 and the super test that's going on. So we're not expecting the patch to come through until sort of back end of the, well, they say the end of the summer, so take that how you feel. So possibly end of August, early September maybe, before we see 9.20, but it's going through super test for sure at the moment. Seen lots of details of rebalancing. They've got their hands on the Japanese, the French, the US and the USSR tanks. Talked about those in a couple of the editions of Rambles. We'll talk about a British rebalance that they're talking about as well in a minute. So other things they're looking at is the self-propelled guns and how the splash radius works. So people were moaning because if you were hiding behind a wall or something, the area of splash was so big that it was still killing you, basically. So imagine you're on low health, you've got yourself into a nice position, hiding behind a building, and a shell comes over, lands a good few meters away from where you were, but the splash is enough to kill you. So people were crying about that. So we're going to be looking to change some of that and affect, depending on the different thickness of cover, to reduce the blast effect, which I kind of understand. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So the biggest news, I think, in this new patch, for me at least, is the new Chinese tanks. So you'll remember, this was the line that Wargaming said we're not going to bring to the servers. It's only going to the Chinese servers. Remember that? I remember that. Probably goes into the same bucket of promises like the Mutant's not going to be sold again and E25's not going to be sold again. Oh, and just they've recently said the Defender won't be sold, haven't they? So yeah, we know what Wargaming are like with their promises, or with their what they're saying about things. So the Chinese TDs are going to be coming to the servers, all servers, apparently because of public demand. I don't know, did anybody here write into Wargaming say I must have the Chinese TDs? I didn't, but clearly everyone else did, so that must be why they're doing it. You know what, I'm being sarcastic, because actually I don't have a problem with them. I really actually like TDs, and so getting another line of them gets my support completely. I like the Chinese vehicles, so having Chinese TDs is good. And they do look kind of fun. I mean, they're a bit like the Chinese mediums and heavies. They're kind of like the Russians, but a bit different. But the higher level ones look absolutely awesome. These look really, really fun, and I can't wait to get my hands on them, frankly. I'm going to be working my way up this line as soon as it appears. So there you go. So Chinese TDs, you've got starts down here at what is that one? Tier 1. Ooh, won't let me change it back to. Oh, okay. You can't go to 1. Okay, so the first tank is on. Oh, because the first one is just the standard Chinese tank, light tank, isn't it? So the first TD is the T26GFT, and the top of the tree is the WZ111GFT, which looks a brute with its 152mm gun. Look at that. 3.5 rounds per minute, 290 average penetration, to 395 with heat. Bloody hell. Average damage 750. Wowza. DPM of 2,647, dispersion 0.38, aim time 2.5. That's going to be fun to play with. So the other thing that's coming in, being tested with 9.20, is a bigger map again. So they're obsessed with bringing in bigger maps and HDing the existing maps rather than just giving us new standard maps. Please, just give us new standard maps. So, but anyway, we're going to get this 30 by 30 mode in the game. So this is going to be called a Grand Battle with 60 players playing on a new 1.4 by 1.4 map, which has been created specifically for this scenario. So it's kind of like the ranked battles, and indeed it's only being allowed for tier 10. But so I don't know what that means for random battles. Does that mean that's dying? Have they given up on that? Is this going to replace random battles? I don't know. So 30v30 players on a bigger map playing standard or engagement. Oh no, it's just standard. So it's either capture the enemy base or destroy all their vehicles. The number of artillery has been reduced, limited to 4 per side. So 4 out of the 4 out of your 30, which is quite a high proportion. That's much higher proportion than you can get in the standard map, isn't it? Anyway, so that's coming through. Stay tuned for a detailed overview of the Grand Battle with a closer look at personal missions available, medals and marks of excellence you can earn, and more. And we're looking into it with extra scrutiny in a separate article closer to the release date. Right. So that tends to suggest that that's going to be some kind of special mode that you can earn extra stuff, like you can in ranked battles. So why make it different from ranked battles? If they want to make this different and try something different, why don't they allow you to use any tier tanks, or tier 6 and tier 8, or I don't know, 6 to 8 or something? Don't get it at all. Anyway, another 12 vehicles have been HDified. There we go, lots of nice things. Shiny. Anyway, that's kind of cool. It's nice to get the tank. Oh, the Churchill looks good. Black Prince, nice. Everyone hates the Black Prince, I like it. And that's the Batchat, isn't it? Which doesn't appear to be getting the nerfing that they were originally talking about doing, because all the Unicum tried about it. So Armored Patrol blog's got a timetable for 9.2, but it doesn't tell us when the test server goes live. They're saying the first super test goes 2nd or 3rd of August, which it did. The second one 16th of August, so that's when they need to make any changes based on the first one. And then the actual release will be the end of the summer, with a new patch at the end of the fall and a new 9.21 at the end of the year. Now my guess would be that if they're aiming for the super test to finish on the 16th of August, we're probably talking the last week or so of August that the test server will go up, and then 9.2 will probably come in sometime in September. That is my guess, but we shall see. So interesting patch coming, but let's have a look a little bit more detail at the one type of vehicles we didn't talk about, which was changes to the British. So the buffs has been play tested for patch 9.20, going super test. We're going through super test at the moment, are continuing apparently. We've seen suggested changes to French, Germans, Russians, American tanks. Now they're looking at the British mediums. I think this is a good move. What they've said in their notes around this is that they plan to improve the turret armor, frontal turret armor of all the British medium tanks from tier 8 to 10, with the effective armor starting at 240. And I think this is a good thing. I mean, one of the things they've said about the British medium tanks here is that, this is on the Daily Mounts, medium tanks have excellent elevation angles and good view range, but unfortunately the turret isn't strong enough to allow you to take full advantage in the top tier British vehicles. So they're going to basically buff the frontal elements of the turrets. Centurion Mark 1 and 7-1 is going to have armour that goes from 140 to 170 to a whopping 240, 250. So that's a fairly significant increase. In fact, it's bloody significant. The Action X will go from 220, 240 to 240, 270. So not such a massive increase, because that actually wasn't too bad to begin with. And the premium, the FV4202, is also going to have a very good buff from 150. It's currently 115 to 120, depending on where you hit. This will go from 240 to 270, so very, very significant. So that's going to be interesting. And they said, as well as improving the armour on the FV4202, they're also going to look at increasing its power, engine power, so that will go up to 650 horsepower, which is great. So that should allow for better acceleration. That tank's had quite a lot of buffing since it was first brought in. Another classic case of them bringing a tank into the premium shop and selling it without really properly playtesting it. In this case, it was found to be wanting. In other cases, they've been far too good. Why don't you just put these tanks in the test server and let people play with them? You'll soon see how good or how bad they are. But you know, maybe that's fairly obvious for Wargaming that they sort of overlook it. Never mind. Anyway, British tanks improved turrets, got bigger, thick frontal turrets, which is great, which will help them considerably on the battlefield. Thoughts? What do you think about the changes they're looking on the super test? They do look quite interesting, I have to say. I still don't get why they needed to buff the Russian medium tanks, because they were already pretty awesome. But British, I think, definitely needed it. So good. Pleased to see. Let me know down below, though. So as you probably saw on Wednesday, the Poodle went on sale in the premium shop. So Poodle is a tier 6 premium medium Polish tank. The first Polish tank in the game, apart from the Rudy, which is Polish but isn't Polish. So the Poodle basically is a stock Panther, or a VK 30 whatever it is, 01M. I've got a video coming out about it tomorrow, just my first impressions of it, first look of it. Not going to break any confidences here by saying I didn't really like it very much. I think it's very lackluster, but if you're desperate for the first Polish tank in the game, it's on sale now. Now, one thing to say about this, we don't know yet, or even if there will be a Polish tech tree. It seems very unlikely that Wargaming would spend all the time building out Polish crews, Polish language, the special food stuff for the Polish tanks, if they aren't intending to. And given the fact that the Polish community in World of Tanks is one of the larger groups of players, my guess is it's almost certainly going to happen, and probably towards the end of this year. That was what the original rumour was, that it would arrive, the Polish tech tree would be the end of the year. Now, what's in that tech tree, I don't know. Probably a whole load of sort of captured vehicles like this tank. The Poodle is basically it's supposed to represent one of two Panthers which were captured by freedom fighters, Polish fighters in the ghettos of Warsaw, trying to overthrow the German invaders who'd taken control of the city for so many years before, and they captured, well, in fact they knocked out a couple of Panthers, and then discovered that two of them were still able to be used. They renovated them, got them out there and used them against the Germans, and that's where these tanks are supposed to be. So they are German Panthers decked out in a Polish Polish colours, if you like. It's one of those permanent camo things that you can't get rid of. It's there all the time, but actually it's quite impressive. I quite like it. And the packs are actually pretty reasonable as well. They've seemed to have, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a new tank, so they're probably going to get away with selling something that's, well, what am I saying? I was about to say they can't get away with selling something that's just a revamp of everything else, but then this is Wargaming, they try and get away with all kinds of things. So basically the standard tank with a garage slot is 15 euros 20, which is about £12 something, isn't it? Something like that. There is a bundle, in fact there's two bundles, and I don't think these bundles are bad value, to be honest. You get the tank, you get 100% crew with the Brothers in Arms perk already on them. The garage slot, 1,500 gold, 30 days of premium, 10 personal reserves, and 15 of the ×5 special missions for €24.99, which I think is not a bad price. And if you really need gold, then this is the package for you. The Supreme, which has the tank, the Brothers in Arms crew, garage slot, 8,000 gold, 25 personal missions, 30 ×5 for €39.99, which if you work out what 8,000 gold costs, you're talking about you're getting the tank for about £9, something like that. So anyway, it's in the game, it's there. I've done a video, as I say, on it tomorrow. Should be out tomorrow, hopefully. Struggle to get any decent games to show you playing it, but I think it's a bit lackluster. I'm not terribly impressed with that. I was kind of looking forward to it because I really like the Panther line, but maybe I've just been unlucky. But I wouldn't waste your money, frankly, but I wasted mine, so who am I to argue? So say what you like about World of Tanks, and particularly Wargaming, money grabbing bastards they are. They are making it a real effort at the moment to run different challenges and missions and what have you, and that's to be applauded. So I'm only taking the piss, but I think that's really good, and I'm very pleased they do this now. So starting on Tuesday the 1st, there is a month-long mission where you can potentially earn the Tier 6 Japanese premium tank, the heavy tank number 6. Basically the Japanese Tiger, as everyone knows it, which is identical to the Tiger 131 and probably identical to the Tiger 21, whatever it is that's coming out. From what I gather with this mission, anybody can get something out of this. So the basic level mission is earn 7,500 XP over any number of battles. That's in a month, and you'll get 5 repair kits. 5 large repair kits, that is. If you then do 15,000 XP, as long as you're in the top 10 of your team, you will get 5 large repair and 5 large first aid kits. Very nice. Then if you carry on to do 50,000, where you have to be the top 3 of your team by base XP, so that's a bit more challenging. You can get 5 large repair, 5 first aid, and 5 personal reserves of 200% crew experience for 1 hour. Now I don't know if these are cumulative. Maybe somebody will know in the chat. But do you get 5 for the rookie, and then 5 more for the so you get 10 repairs and 5 first aids, and then if you do the elite, does that mean you get 15 repairs? 10? I don't know. Anyway, the final mission, which is to earn 50,000 XP over any number of battles. Only battles which you are number 1 in your team by base XP count towards the mission total. So that's actually quite hard, but you have got a month to do it. 50,000, but you've got to be the number 1, so you've got to carry your team. And for that, you will get the Japanese Tiger, 100% crew, which is nice, and a garage slot. Now, while I'm having a moan, why is my computer misbehaving again? So anyway, I'm having a moan about this a little bit because I've got the Japanese Tiger, but I'd love to have a free crew, and yet if I've already got the tank, you get compensated by 1.5 million credits, which is nice, and a garage slot. But I want the frigging crew. That'll be useful, very useful for the future. But clearly you can't get that. That's too much to ask. Anyway, I suppose barring the thing about the crew, that's quite a difficult mission to do. 50,000 credit, 50,000 XP across a month, but only battles where you are first count towards that. Pretty challenging, so that's going to be quite difficult to do. But you know, it's something we can all aim for and aspire for. So good, I suppose, in that sense, good thing. And at least there are different levels of this challenge. So you know, most people should be able to do the rookie one, and the veteran one probably is relatively straightforward for most people to do. The elite and the best of the best, a bit more challenging, but at least you've got an opportunity to do the other ones, so I suppose that's a good thing too. So anyway, let me know what you think down below, as ever. And premiums are like buses at the moment, so not only we've got the Poodle coming along, but also the Armoured Patrol is saying that the Stuntswagen 81, the long-awaited Swedish premium medium tier 8 tank, is due. They're suggesting around Gamescom time, which is 22nd to the 26th of August, which is a traditionally time when Wargaming sell some sort of special premium. They're suggesting it's going to be tied into a promotion with this Swedish heavy metal band Sabaton, who I have my hand up. I have no idea who they are, but I did see a picture of some hairy, long-haired louts on a Wargaming page the other week, so I assume that's them. I sound like my father there. I really do. I love rock music, so I'm going to have a listen to them. So I just did that just to be annoying. Anyway, looks like this tier 8's going to go up for sale around Gamescom. That's what they're suggesting. What is it like? Well, it's basically a Centurion with a better turret. That's all you need to know. It's a Swedish medium tank. Does that mean that we're going to get a Swedish medium tech line? I don't know, or is this just going to be a one-off type tank? Because at the moment, of course, you have mediums in the lower tiers of the battle tank line, but as you get to the higher tier, they become heavy tanks. So how much use is a tank for training if you're only having tier 6 tanks in it? You know, you're only putting tier 6 crews in it. I don't know. Or is it just a money grab using a copied Centurion tank that they already had in the game? Answers on a postcard, but I think we know the answer to that. Anyway, I think it's going to be a fun tank. I like the Centurion very much. I'm very tempted to buy this when it comes up, depending on the price. No idea how much it should be, but you know, tier 8 medium tank, usually around about 20 quid, something like that. Not as expensive as the heavy tanks or the TDs, but we'll see what they actually put this one on for. But they're suggesting this will be on sale for all regions, which is good to know. So watch this space. Another premium coming soon. Beep-boo, beep-boo. So Daily Bounce is reporting that the Tiger 217 is going through super test at the moment. This is, I don't know why it needs super test, because basically it's a clone of the Tiger 131 and also the Japanese Tiger. This is another one of these tanks that was driven by somebody well known in the Second World War. This was Otto Carius, who was a Second World War German tank ace, and this was a tank he drove, the Tiger 217. As I say, it's identical in stats to those other two tanks. It's at tier 6. Daily Bounce is suggesting this is going to be coming out on sale around Gamescom 2017. It will feature unique camo. Well, you need something unique because the bloody tank's not. So I presume that's winter. This must be spring, maybe. Oh, I don't know. That's desert. Anyway, interesting. And you know, if you like your Tigers and you want to collect the set, then you know this will be available. I bought the Tiger 131, even though I got the heavy tank number 6, and actually I don't regret it. I think it's a nice little tank. Would I then spend more money on another Tiger that's identical, just with different camo packages? I don't think I will be. I think Wargaming's had enough of my money for the time being. So, anyway, interesting. On sale at Gamescom, according to Daily Bounce. We shall see. Looks interesting. What do you think? So, Wargaming are looking to bring another premium heavy tank to the game. Tier 8 premium. This time at least it's German rather than Russian. Welcome the VK 16801P. This is going through super test at the moment, so obviously stats will change. It looks like a premium version of the VK 10001P. This is, as I said, tier 8 premium tank, super heavy tank. It's just looks like an absolute brute. Power to rate ratio is god awful, 4.6, so it's very, very slow. Maximum speed is 20 kph. That's only. It's almost as quick backwards. Does 15 backwards, and it traverses like a tanker basically. But why you would want this is its armor. 180 millimeters of frontal armor, 130 on the side, and 100 on the rear. And that front plate looks very, very angled indeed, although I suspect the lower plate is going to be weak. So 180 angled like that, it's going to bounce lots of things, and with a side armor of 130 you're going to be able to side scrape like a boss. Turret armor is also very good, 230, 160, 100. View range is a massive 400. What is it with these heavy tanks having view ranges bigger than most light tanks? Absolute ridiculous. Carries the 128mm AP gun that I can't forget which tank starts that one off, but it's become a standard at the higher tier with the German guns. Penetration of 220 with a standard round is a little on the low side actually. 260 with premium is also not fantastic, so it's a bit blunt. 440 average damage though is rather nice. Aim time 2.59 seconds is pretty good. Load time of 14.3 seconds, so a DPM of 1800 is not particularly great. Accuracy 0.38 is okay actually. Gun depression of -8 is very good. So no idea how much this will cost, but look at this. What's it got? A frigging bike attached to the back of its turret. What a stupid idea. Yeah, it's basically a super heavy German premium heavy tank, so seems the way of things at the moment. You don't need to grind tanks anymore, you just buy them. So if you want to buy into the German heavy tank line, this is going to be a chance if this one actually does see fruition at the end. We shall see. It's another bloody bike on the back. Look at this. Jeez. Anyway, coming soon if the super test goes well. Obviously all the stats there are subject to change because it is super test and things do change there, but this looks like a big brute of a heavy tank with lots of pretty good armor and a pretty weak gun. So if that's your thing, watch out for this one. Is it or isn't it? The Waffle-Traeger E100 debate continues. Is it coming back? Is it not? Well, status report is suggesting that it is coming back, but only on the Chinese server as a tier 10 premium tank. Holy shit. That's all I can say. According to Anton Pankov, there's no real hope of this thing making a return to the other servers. Yeah. Do we believe Wargaming when they say that? Not one bit. Do I hear Mutant? Do I hear E25? Yeah, okay. Anyway, this OP German auto-loading tank destroyer was, as you know, or most people will know, originally available on the tech tree as the tier 10 German top TD. It was OP as hell. It was capable of clipping any tier 10 tank in the game, and it carried 128mm gun. It was just devastating, this thing. And there are if you've got some of the old software running, go and have a look at some of the games on what replays, because there just are some absolute brutes with this thing. It just single-handedly, in the hands of somebody who knew how to play it, single-handedly could just destroy enemy teams. Simple as that. And Wargaming took it out and replaced it with the Grill 15 because they finally realised that it was completely OP. But the Chinese server, anything goes apparently, and they are reported to be selling, or going to be selling, this for 30,000 gold. That's £88.39 on the Wargaming shop at the moment. 88 quid for a tier 10. Oh, wrong one. For a tier 10. £88 for a tier 10 premium tank. Would you pay that? I certainly wouldn't. Jeez, that's serious amounts of money. But we know that Chinese are prepared to pay for the best tanks, so they will buy them. People over there seem to be much prepared to throw money at the game than any other server. So, you know, good luck to them, I suppose, if they can get away with it. But I do not believe this fella. I'm sorry, Anton. I'm sure you're a lovely chap, but when Wargaming say that something is never coming to the server or never going to be sold again, many of us just go, yeah, right. So I'm going, yeah, right. So it's Wargaming's 7th birthday on the 12th of August, and we know what that means. Yep, we get a free garage slot. Oh, and you get a tank too. You want more? Okay. So the T29 Tier 3 Premium Russian Medium Tank is what you get. This is it. It's Tier 3, right? What do you expect? It's a freebie. Anybody, generally the way it works is anybody who logs in over a given period on or around the 12th of August will get this automatically if they play. Sometimes you have to play a game, sometimes it's just logging in is enough. Actually as a light sort of tier 3 tank, it's not that bad, to be honest. 250 hit points, hull armor 30 20 20, turret 20 20 20, view range 300 is actually pretty good for a Russian tank. It's 45 kph speed, penetration with the gun, which is, I can't remember what this one is. Doesn't say here, does it? I forget, sorry. Penetration is 66, 75 with premium, and 110 average damage. Accuracy is a god-awful 0.55. Barn door type gun, this one. Aim time 2.3 is not great. Reload time of 5.2 is also pretty weak. So pretty high pen, pretty high damage for this tier. If you think 110, if it was shooting against itself with a couple of good high rolls, it can two-shot, certainly three-shot itself, which is a reasonable amount of alpha it's giving out. So, but you know, at the end of the day, most people, when they get this free tank, they sell it immediately for a little bit of credits or gold and keep the garage slot. So your choice, your toy, your game. Enjoy. So finally, let's take a look at some of the August specials that Wargaming are telling us about. So through August, the whole of August, we know that the S-Tank, the Strengthwagen Swedish tank destroyer line, is top of the tree, so you'll get all the bonuses associated with that. There's also that Japanese Tiger experience challenge ongoing. Also 5th to the 7th of August, Wargaming turns 19. I thought anyway. So you will get ×3 bonus, XP bonus, discounts, and also a thank you mission with great rewards. Now, assuming that's when you get off birthday tank, we shall see. Then 12th to the 14th is a dedicated special event for tank crews. So presumably that's a crew crew bonus that, running all the way through for each battle. I would imagine something like that, we shall see. Then the 17th to the 20th of August is Inspired by Metal. So that is that alliance with the Swedish rock band, where we reckon the Swedish premium medium tank will go on sale in that window. And then end of the month, Gamescom, 23rd to the 28th of August. So ×5 for everything, every first victory, great discounts, and a digital goodie bag, whatever that is. So there you go. Interesting to see. I think this is only EU, but I would imagine Gamescom, probably the metal thing, and the birthday thing will definitely run on all servers, I would imagine, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, hopefully you found this rambles useful. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy it, click like. If you didn't, don't click like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do. And yeah, enjoy your games, have fun, try not to take it too seriously. It's just a damn game. And I'll see you again soon. Gamer Dom signing out.